Hey, welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted podcast. It's going to be a great show. We got Mayhem Miller back.
Hey.
Greg Wilson is here.
Hey.
Tyler Smith.
Yo.
We are at SpeedWeed Studios, the joint at SpeedWeed Studios. I want to thank SpeedWeed for hooking us up. And by the way, if you smoke marijuana or edibles or CBD, SpeedWeed's the place to be. They have THC sex lube that me and my wife use all the time. Makes sex so much better. My dick is high during it. I'm telling you, I highly recommend SpeedWeed. Check them out. Follow them at SpeedWeed on Instagram and Twitter. Gino's a great guy.
He is a great guy.
And it's just awesome. So
kind of grossed me out, I gotta be honest. Like,
what? The sex,
I don't know.
Having sex?
I mean, yeah.
The lube? You tried the lube?
Yeah, I haven't. No, I haven't tried the lube, but
It really just is like a tingly little like, ooh.
Oh, okay.
It's not like,
Yeah, we're not
you
like
don't get like fucked up.
it's not like green slime. We're not like
That's what I'm imagining. I'm imagining like the secret of the Ooze Ninja Turtle.
No.
Like your dick turns into a mutant. But all right.
Summer won't use
you
it
know
because
what?
she's afraid she's going to get high.
yeah, no, I mean it doesn't get you that high. It just feels
Does it get you that high, or
And
does
I'm
it get you
like-
high?
I'm
a little bit
I
high,
hope
but it makes the whole thing, the whole experience
Yeah, it's
better.
for sure.
Listen,
I mean,
if
it goes into your bloodstream.
If it gets you high, I am never smoking weed again. I'll just be like, babe, bend over, Daddy.
No, I masturbate with this sometimes. I'll actually like use it when anyway.
Dad, babe, you know I'm stressed out. Bend over.
like,
Buy
I wanna smoke.
SpeedWeed.
So check it out. Now,
Weed is fucking great,
Get pulled
dude.
over.
Guys,
Get pulled
guys.
over. It's like, have you been smoking weed? No, officer. Just-
He's trying to start the show. You guys
Yeah.
quit beating off with THC.
We're beating off to THC.
so where was I? Last weekend I went to New York. I was in New Jersey. Did Tips Comedy Club. It was a blast.
Tips? Just the tips?
Tips. TIFF.
Oh, okay.
Tips Comedy Club.
What's that like? How is Tiffany?
It was. I don't know who Tiffany was, but the show was great.
Yeah.
The first night, Jimmy Rivera showed up.
Nice.
And so did Deanna Bennett, who's a beautiful girl, by the way.
I love Deanna Bennett.
And fun.
She's
Badass fighter. And it was fun because it was like, 30, 40 people. It wasn't like a huge crowd.
Right.
Saturday night was bigger. But when I was on stage, I was like, listen, Jimmy, if I have a bad night, I seen you have some pretty bad nights too. So don't get me. And he was a really good sport. The next night, Gary Tonin showed up.
Awesome.
classic.
As well as Lyman Good.
Awesome.
So that was awesome.
That's rad.
Gary's got a smoking hot girlfriend. And he was like a Maxim model, and he just you see a guy like Gary Tonin, and you wouldn't think like this dude could rip your head off instantly.
Yeah.
Which
with
is,
like no resist. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
He's gonna rip your head off.
but you wouldn't know that. Like certain guys, you stand next to like Ngannou or even Mayhem, you're like, this is a big dude.
Yeah.
But then certain guys, you're like they'll kill you, but they don't seem that threatening when you actually stand next to them.
Oh, like all the little jujitsu guys that you're like, I could beat him, and then they just strangle the shit out of you.
Yeah.
It's like that's the most demoralizing thing in the world. Getting choked by like 140-pound guy. And you're like, what?
140-pound tax auditor.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, you pick him up. He's got a triangle. You pick him up over your head, and it's just like, it's the worst.
Has that ever happened to you?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Even as a brown belt?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
All the time. My coach he's 150, 145, 150, and just like he slaps on a choke and you're not getting out of it.
Wow.
Like it just like
There's a
tightens
special kind
like
of
a
strength
noose.
that you develop over years doing jujitsu. Like I don't know. There's like hard.
Like your tendons become hard.
Yeah, it's kind of like rock climbing. Like how rock climbers become like super strong at this specific motion.
right.
Same difference. Like with jujitsu, you even like me. I've been out of training for a year for obvious reasons. But like when I'm starting to get back into it, and like when I like that tendon strength is like still there.
Yeah.
Like it's like,
Like
okay,
you
I
grab
can
something
really,
and it just
I can just like, even if the guy tucks his chin, I can like just rip his head off. It's like pinch. There's some type of strength that you can't get any other way. You can't go to the gym, just lift weights and do that. It's like,
That's what I'm saying. It's exactly. It's not like a lifting weight kind of a strength.
it's similar,
Right.
but there's so much
more like
nuance to
isometric.
it. Yeah,
It's
and there's so
more-
much nuance. Like lifting a dumbbell like this is, up to your chest is much different than squeezing every part of your arm around somebody's neck. There's just these minute
It's like contraction, compression versus
same
explosion.
with kind of wrestling. Like,
Right.
I remember when I went to a wrestling, a jiu-jitsu gym, and I was holding everyone down. And everyone was like, "Whoa, what kind of jiu-jitsu is that? Where do you train at?" I'm like, "This is just, this is me pinning you."
This is me terrified that you're gonna choke me.
Yeah, exactly.
This is me putting my head in your chest and keeping it there.
Fight or flight, fight or flight.
Now, so Mayhem, are you back training?
Yeah. I down in Orange County is a place. Well, Joe Moreira is there, and Tom Morelli Academy. It's called. Just a man. It smells like a fighter gym. You know what I mean? Like I've been to a bunch of gyms, but I get in there. It's kind of grimy, just the way I like it. But the level of guys real high. Everybody is, it's like a good community gym.
But you have been back there in a year and a half. So when you walk in, is it like?
It was more like, who the fuck is that guy? And then people like come closer, like, are you Mayhem? Like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'm old now. Fuck off.
I'm old.
Yeah.
It's over.
What the fuck is that old man?
Yeah. I'm like, just don't, I'm grown up now, kids. I don't got the crazy mohawk. Yeah, I get it, okay? But, it's great. I feel like I never missed a day.
But I remember we were at the Laugh Factory together about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
And I was trying to set you up with this girl, Camilla. Did you ever hang out?
We were wondering about that, about the crazy contest.
Listen. I just got out of something crazy. I don't know if I want to. Thanks for the handoff. I know I just got out of jail.
All right, I'll say the story. So we're at the Laugh Factory. He comes and sees me, and man, it's hard because you're like, man, try sitting in a bathroom for a year and a half and getting out. Like this is, and I'm like, dude, if this was normal, you'd be fucked. Like relax. Don't be so hard on yourself. So you're sitting there, and then this girl comes in. She goes, "Wait, I think I saw you wearing a fur coat and you were stabbed last time I saw you."
With no shirt, a fur coat, hanging out in the green room at the Improv, and I was all stabbed, all the shit. I got in a big brawl and got stabbed a bunch of times and was still out drinking. Hey, what's up? And hitting on this chick with a cast on my hand and a bunch of like staples in my back. Yeah, and I barely remembered her. Yeah.
So that doesn't, and then. So now he looks like he's went to like reform school, and that didn't scare her away.
I know.
Nothing will.
I know.
So she's sitting there, and he's
Scare
like,
away, attract her.
Yeah. And then the more that I got to know her, the more I realized like we could have a really kinky weekend. Okay. I could just
super freaky.
It was okay. The girl was a comic.
A lot of choking.
She's funny.
It's Camilla Cleese. It's John Cleese's daughter.
She's
right?
great.
Yeah. And she's very funny. Great.
And I respect
super
her.
Awesome.
I
She's like
respect her a lot.
6'3",
super awesome
model, right? So she's sitting there, and I'm like, hey, she's like, where you been? He's like, oh, I just got out of jail for a year and a half. And then she goes, I got arrested 19 times. So so then they were comparing.
Why do birds suddenly appear? Yeah, she is beautiful. But I keep a respectful distance. Maybe I'll take her to coffee.
I felt like I was at a Marvel. I feel like I was at a Marvel thing where I'm watching two like villains compare notes.
Yeah.
It was
like Deadpool.
Oh yeah. Well,
Uncles.
And the thing was, like, she was winning. Like her stories were topping. He was like, yeah, I took a couple pills, and she's like, yeah, I used to down all my like it kept getting worse. I'm like, is this really happening right now? I go, you guys are gonna have an amazing 3 days, and then you're never gonna talk to each other.
That's right. Yeah. That's exactly right.
But yeah, she's like, I can't drive right now. It was hilarious. Like I don't know who was in worse shape. But I mean, it was like, but she was hilarious. But you were hilarious.
She's great. Yeah, I like her. I got to give her a call.
I didn't know what was going on. But
he's like, I'd forgotten all about that, actually.
So that was the last time I saw you. But how has it been? Because I know it's been kind of...
It's been good, man. I'm like, coming back to life. I like learned how to talk again. It feels strange. Like, it's definitely strange to come out. But luckily, I got friends like you guys, and I'm kind of reassimilating into society.
Listen to that.
I served my time. I did my time.
The vocabulary is expanding.
Have any of the people that you probably shouldn't have hung out with back then hit you up like, hey, you want to do some drugs? Want to go drinking?
Oh, for sure.
And how tempting is it for you to...
I mean, I don't get that. I understand there's a lot of people out there, they get caught up in that life and like, they never can really quit that life. and I see it. I understand why.
Look, you don't get to call me out right here on the show. Some of us just really enjoy drugs.
Yeah, I know, and I never even tried to like give up that life because I didn't see it as a problem. It threw me in jail for a while. I had time to think clearly, and I did some, soul searching and figured out, it's time to move on.
But it's hard now
because
in California, everyone's stoned.
I know.
Everyone's offering.
That's the weirdest thing is me like hanging out with like a group of everybody smoking weed, everybody's drinking, and it's just funny that weed is legal for everybody except for me.
Yeah.
But you're getting drug tested, right?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah. It is worse than the UFC chasing me around with a pistol.
That sucks, but I'm kind of happy in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's for the best.
Me too. I'm good. Yeah, I'm all right. I don't need. I don't need.
I mean, at a certain point, it will stop too. At a certain point, you will be on your own.
Yeah.
And hopefully by then you'll be so used to it.
Yeah, he has a countdown.
It'll be
the worst.
He's ripping off numbers
counting
every day.
middays. I got an advent
It's like those ones they have at work where they're like 36 days since our last accident.
Only 700 pieces of candy to go before I'm out of here.
Is there anything you miss about jail?
There's a special rung in hell for somebody who asks a question like that, and you just have like a natural talent for asking the stupidest fucking question.
No, you're right. That's his best thing.
It's one of his only talents.
Like somebody will get a big deal of some kind and be like, "Oh yeah, how much you get paid for that?"
Yeah.
Like it's like, dude, you can't
Just
ask about the money right off the bat.
Just
Every time he finds the
Zionist question.
and does it. Every time you nailed it. That's
like
exactly right.
Like Alone Time or something, or like Lights Out.
The structure.
I'm tired of not standing in front of my door and food comes flying through a tray slot and then I just fucking eat it and throw it back out like a damn ape. No, I don't miss any of that shit. God damn it. Adam Hunter, fucking weirdo.
I was trying to think of the dumbest.
Do you miss anything? He's like,
you know what it is? You were going to say something like, I really missed the library time. That was really special today or something.
It's like a autistic chimp making up questions that sound human.
No dodgeball? Okay, so, all right.
Ridiculous.
All right, let's talk about the fights that happened last week. You guys watch the fight?
Yes, I watched most of them.
Some of them.
You didn't watch any of the fights?
Yeah, I watched.
Okay. All right.
I watched the highlights.
First of all, the karate hottie, Joanna. Look, I just feel like the karate hottie is an amazing fighter, but she just always falls short at that next level of that. She always gets there.
Like Cowboy Cerrone.
But kind of like Cowboy Cerrone, because she's so close, and she almost had it. She had her back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple times, twice. But Joanna's just that next level.
And look, it's so funny. That was another thing someone else tweeted me was like, hey, the dark circles are back under Joanna's eyes. And I'm like, good. That means she's hungry again. Although she was still preening for the camera quite a bit at the very beginning. And I was a little afraid. I was like, I don't know if that's what I want to see. But she came out and she looked like...
Yeah.
But you know what, though? When she would let her fists go, that used to be like her main thing was letting those fists go. And she really only did it a couple of times in this fight. Yeah. And I wanted more of that.
I think the weight discrepancy is kind of, you know what I mean? Like that girl cuts down from real heavy. Michelle fights closer to the weight, realistically. Yeah. And, everybody was bitching that Joanna wasn't going to make the weight or whatever. I mean, it helps to go to be a little bigger, a little younger, a little, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And Michelle's a damn mama, you know what I mean? Like she took off time to have a kid, and it's a different stage of life. Joanna's on the come up, and it's kind of it's a bummer. I love Michelle. I love seeing her do well, but at the same time, the game plan came together for Joanna, and she just beasted her.
Speaking of mamas, Mackenzie Dern. I think something that this actual whole event showed, which has been shown this year basically, is that you can't be one-dimensional.
Yeah.
And maybe it used to be that you could be just amazing at one thing and get away with it.
Well, especially women's.
But we look at like Kron Gracie, and then we look at Mackenzie Dern, even Ben Askren, although we don't know if that could happen anyway. Yeah. But one dimension does not work anymore.
No, unless your name could be what you're made of.
Unless you're...
Well, one dimension works when it's wrestling.
You could call him one dimensional.
You think so?
Kind of. I mean, if you're that high level wrestler where you can control where the fight goes and keep controlling. It's basically he's dominating the whole match with his wrestling. Yeah, somebody will figure it out. I mean, nobody can remain undefeated forever, unless he just retires. But at the same time, wrestling is like the most important aspect of mixed martial arts at this stage of the game. Yeah,
Absolutely.
But it seemed like Mackenzie Dern, came back too fast. 4 months after she gave birth is in the octagon.
Pretty gangster.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I know.
Kudos
Insane.
to her. At a weight class below. She usually fights 25, right?
Yeah.
Well, she did just crap out 20 pounds. So,
Yeah.
so that's a hell of a weight cut.
But
She probably felt
that-
so
is that
good.
what they named
She was
the
like, I'm
baby?
ready to fight right now.
Weight cut?
Shit.
Holy shit.
she must need to get out of the house.
Cut Dern.
Yeah.
She must have been like, this fucking, get me the fuck out of this house.
I'm tired of changing fucking diapers. Just let me tear somebody's head off.
But and everyone kept talking about her boobs, which I didn't realize were that big.
They're juicy now.
Well, that was the
Humongous.
thing. They were bouncing all over the place,
Man.
and you never really see them bounce in a fight.
No.
You really don't. They're usually in there pretty good, and most of them have pretty small ones. Otherwise, they're fake, and those don't move. But these suckers were fucking.
I know, it was a little distracting, right?
It was. I was enjoying it more than I usually would.
I was like waiting for milk to squirt out. But anyway, so Mackenzie Dern.
Like instead of a
I love
jab.
Adam's like, was that not good? Is that not good? The milk, were we not all thinking the milk one? Like, yeah, gets her in the eye with it. No distraction. But it was a lot of noticeable boob jiggery.
But you know what? The girls had a lot of pressure on her, Mackenzie Dern.
Yeah.
So much pressure because of who her father was and who's jiu-jitsu. Maybe this loss is good for her because it seemed like the whole world was on her shoulders and like all the weight and this and that. Chrome Gracie says he won the fight. I don't understand. No, he lost every round, albeit close. But is this a pride thing? Is this a Gracie thing? Mayhem, talk to me.
Well, I think a lot of when you're in there, it's different. You know what I mean? I talked to him a week later, let him watch the fight. Maybe he'll change his mind. But the night of, you feel like you're winning. You feel like you're about to win, no matter what. If you're, you know what I mean? If especially, from the bottom position, trying to attack, and if you're attacking the whole time, if your mentality is jiu-jitsu, if I'm a jiu-jitsu player, like my mentality is, if I'm attacking from the bottom, this should count as, aggression. Right. But, the rest of us, the general fight public doesn't see it that way. If you're on the bottom and you go for a triangle and you miss, and then the guy punches you in the face, he punched him in the face, you forget about that triangle attempt. Right. It doesn't matter. But, the reason jiu-jitsu players will often say, I won, is because they view that their aggression should be counted towards.
Have you ever fight that you thought you won that? Seems like your fights always finish. Right?
Yeah, I usually was realistic round by round. I would go back to the corner like if I had a question, I'd go, did I win that round? And my corner would tell me, fuck no, you fucking get back out there and do something different, and all right. So I had like a definite, minute to minute action report. Realistic. That's your corner man. Now, if my last name was Gracie, my corner man might not tell me you're a fucking idiot, you're losing. And that might be it, but that's speculation.
The fight when you were against GSP, where he was punching you in the face and you were laughing at him.
Yeah.
Well, why do you think it was funny?
Yeah. Oh, here, a lot of my career I fucked up because I was having so much fun during the fight that it's so exciting because you rarely get to live that. Like very few people get to live that life in front of that many people doing what you love to do, and I would have so much fun during the fights that I didn't even care. I didn't even care if I would win or lose in the moment. I just wanted,
but like when Frank Trigg kicked you in the head.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny too. I was like, son of a bitch. I remember laughing, going, that was a good one. And saying that was a good one. And then going back to the corner because I was like, they're gonna stop it because I was bleeding like a faucet. And I was like, that was a pretty big cut. And I was like, I think that's a big cut. gut, and then it just gushed out. And I went back to my corner, and Dan Henderson was in there, and I was like, "Do I look bad?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right, well, pizza party at the hospital." And then they like stapled my face back together, so you can't even tell.
Now, Tyler, were you having fun when you were fighting or no?
I was not, because I knew I was gonna lose. It was almost that thing where
That's a bummer way to do it, bro.
This was like every time?
No, because he like every time he hit me, it was just so he was rocking me every time he touched me. So it was like one of those things like, well, shit. Every time I throw something, he's countering and rocking the shit out of me.
You take edibles day of the fight or no?
No, I didn't. I should have. Yeah. I train high all the time, so it's like it calms me down. So it's like, why not? Fuck, it's amateurs. They're not testing us, and why not fight high? Anyway,
I pass a joint to him in between rounds.
It just screwed up my whole.
He has a bong. He has a water bong that the shaft just comes up through the cage.
Yeah.
Sitting in the corner.
If you take edibles, like I'll just be like, hey, here's some edibles from SpeedWeed. You'll just take them at any point of the day.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They don't really. I have to eat a lot of edibles to like feel.
I would say edibles either don't work or work way too well. It's one or the other. It's hard to find the balance.
Everybody has the bad edible story.
Oh, for sure.
But like when weed shops were like just becoming like regular thing around here, man, this fat girl at the weed shop said, "How much of this cookie do I eat?" She's like, "I ate the whole thing," and I was like, all right.
Yeah, but you're eating a cookie.
I ate a quarter of that motherfucker and was seeing robots on the ceiling.
That's what I'm
melted to the
telling you,
floor.
man.
I had to climb Mount Everest on my hands and knees just to go to the bathroom. That shit is dangerous.
In the dispensary?
Yeah.
You were
No, at the house. I made it to the house to eat the cookie, and what a bad idea. That shit is banana sandwich.
Dude, but the funniest part, I remember the first time I interviewed you for Ellis Mania, I come over to interview you, and there's Asian girls everywhere.
Yeah.
But like just
hanging out.
Not even like part of like the walls.
Yeah.
Like you look in the corner, there's some Asian like it was the craziest fucking thing I've ever seen.
I had
that's because he was also dabbling in human trafficking. That was what you saw there were his days. That was a shipment.
Yeah,
that he was guarding until the handlers came to move the shipment.
Bro, I mean, look, you got to make money somehow.
You got to make that down, brother. Exactly. Those bills come every month.
Oh, now I'm a human trafficker. All right.
But it seems like it does seem like Asian women travel in packs.
Some, they do, yeah.
And it did seem like a lot of times when I would see you with Asian girls, there'd be like 5 or 6 of them, and you would know 2 or 3, but the other ones would just be there.
Hanger-oners.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I'm trying to start a nail shop all the time. A driving school.
Of course,
something like that.
Of course,
I don't know if I go to
driving school called Crash. It's called Crash Course.
All right, so let's talk about some of the other fights that
Where'd you learn to drive? At the Crash Course.
Now, my friend James Vick, that was rough.
Woo! What an upkick.
He got knocked out twice in a row. He was going to 170. And he was winning that fight. I mean,
he was whooping a guy's ass. Yeah, that ground and pound was connecting. It was one of those. He just got out of position for a second. He was giving him the business.
Were you laughing when that happened?
I was just like, nah, I'm not laughing because I trained that same move with you. You look for that. You look for that up kick, and he fell prey to it.
But why is he only the second guy in the UFC to ever get knocked out with it?
Well, I mean, you said it yourself. He got knocked out last time, right?
Yeah.
So he wanted to win. He wanted to have a strong finish. Look, if people will discount the mental aspect of the martial art, like if you're coming off a knockout loss and you're that close, you're beating a guy's ass, and man, he looked like he almost had the guy, right? Yeah, you might go too aggressive, get out of position, and end up knocked out.
But also, once you get knocked out, especially if you've been knocked out 2 times in a row, doesn't it make it easier to get knocked out again?
Look, I don't think we have to do a double-blind study to say,
right, exactly.
Yeah, if you get knocked out, apparently, they say your chin comes loose. And people forget many times in like the boxing days, the boxing world, if a guy gets knocked out one good time, everybody goes, he's done forever.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
It's too easy to do it again.
Because Yeah, because the guy can't take as much punishment.
So
and
what,
we've seen it. We've seen it.
And he was also a boxer.
yeah,
Vic was also started off as a boxer.
Exactly,
Golden Glove boxer.
But I mean, that contact, it sounded like it broke his chin.
What could he have done?
It did break his jaw.
what
Yeah,
should he
I
have-
mean,
that's what I
it
read.
sounded like it. I mean,
now,
crack.
So that wasn't a fluke, but what do you think he should have done differently?
Well, take your time with that ground and pound. Just hang back a little bit. He already had him kind of dead to rights. Like he just got excited and went for it. You know what I mean? Beyond, like he put himself out of position to get up kicked. You know, when you're doing a ground and pound like that, you got to push your hips in and keep your head high and look for your spots because you already have him in a good position. You know, but where he got so, you know, he was salivating for it. He got so excited that he hit him with, I forget what it was. It was like a left hook and then like a downward right and dinked the guy real bad. I was like, oh, this fight's over. And he was thinking the same thing. Yeah. And instead of taking his time and picking his shots, here we go. So look, he got him with a few right here.
He leans forward with it. Boom.
Yeah, and credit due to Price
Nico,
though. Yeah, because this is an unconventional.
Well, and he had a
Right here.
leg drag
Should he
too.
stay right there?
No.
He drags his
He let it
legs
step
and he
around.
recovers.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
So he just didn't take that step with his right. What he should have done is stepped around with his right
pressure,
and put that, cut that knee in front so he's covering his waist so he can't recover his
You
legs.
got to give credit. This is an unconventional kick too. The way he did it, most people don't.
It was like an axe kick.
Yeah, it was exactly. Yeah,
it was a really
straight up.
good
It was
technique.
like he pulled it and axed right into his jaw.
Yeah.
It was really, I mean,
Yeah, Vic's not done with.
you knew he was
he's
out
got
though.
more
You knew the
left
way he
in him.
I don't know. I mean,
The way he crumbled, you knew he was out.
3 knockouts in a row.
3 in a row now.
Three
I thought it
and
was
three
2 in a row.
three vicious knockouts.
yeah,
I mean,
no.
3 knockouts where you're like, yeah, he's a young guy, but also he's, come on.
And you wonder if that hurt his knees, the way that he collapsed.
Perfect argument.
The
I
way
mean,
that he
come on.
collapsed down inside, straight down. It looked like he might have even injured his knees doing that. I mean, it was a tough collapse.
Are
I
they
knew he
gonna
was
cut
out
him?
that second.
That's the question. Are they going to cut him?
You know what? It's hard to say because on one hand, you get knocked out 3 times in a row for his own good, maybe cut him. At the same time, UFC wants knockouts,
Right.
and he usually knocks someone out and gets knocked out. So he's an exciting fighter.
And it's not like he walked out there in the first minute of the first round on all these fights and just got knocked out. It's like
No, he
even
was-
the
yeah,
Gaethje,
he was killing
the
that
Gaethje
guy
fight,
and then got
they were
knocked
going at it and KG caught him. It's like it's always an exciting fight when James Vick fights. So
he's always
I
trying to get a
don't
catch
see them cutting him, but
I don't know. I mean,
I'm
for
not
his
in
own
charge of
health,
the UFC
I would
either,
take a year off if I were him and just figure out.
yeah, I mean, he put up he wrote a big long post on Instagram. Was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I worked a lot for this. I got caught, and blah blah. The stuff going through his head right now, I can't even imagine. Because that's like,
Instagram.
yeah.
No, I just can't get into mine, so I'm kind of bitter.
It's all right. We'll keep tagging you on Snap.
Now, did you guys see Matt Frivola versus Luis Pena, Violent Bob Ross?
Yes.
That fight, it could have went either way. I thought that it was one of those fights where I gave Frivola the first, Pena the second, third either way. But Pena won so much more in the second than he lost in the first.
Right.
But that's not the way fights are
doesn't-
judged.
yeah.
I mean, it's almost like, well, then you give a guy like a 8.5 or something.
I mean, remember Pride did that? They'll judge it on the totality of the fight.
Yeah.
And it was like, it usually was more satisfying for the fans. It wasn't like this 10-point must system with like boxing. It was like they judge on the totality of the fight. So if you kick the guy's ass in the first round, and then the guy comes back near the end of the fight, then it was like, oh, it's amazing this guy won. But like now, you can beat the guy's ass round 1 and 2, lose
the
the
third
shit
round
out
off,
of round there, just
Three
like
and still win.
coast and
Yeah.
still win.
What do you like better, though? As a fighter, what do you like better? Because to me, it seems, that judging it every round by round, it seems like sometimes you have to then give the fight to someone you think lost.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of like the idea.
mean,
and
by
I've always
the
preferred
rule-
the idea of judging the fight as a whole and saying, you know what, overall, though, he was better.
Yeah, but also Pride also had no steroid testing, and then
Pride.
some of those fights were a little shady. The Mark Coleman versus what was the one where the guy?
I don't know.
Steroidius.
Anyway, was it Coleman or was Anyway, who was the one where against the Japanese wrestler guy?
Don Fry versus
Don Fry?
No, that was a great fight. Takayama Fry.
Takayama.
But Fry was obviously legendary. But anyway, but Pena but Pena loses. And then
Are you okay?
Pena loses.
I love you, bud.
Pena loses. Then he goes he storms out, goes into the locker room. Then he writes a thing on Twitter. You knew that I won. This is bullshit. And I don't think he really gains fans by doing that. I remember when I wrestled in high school, right? There was a guy that the guy lost a close match, right?
The glory days.
It was the 8th grade.
The ref.
New England prep school, 3-school circuit.
School.
Right,
it was us versus our other
versus the girls' side.
Yes. Anyway, some guy filled in
The sister school.
All right,
All right, go ahead. What happened?
I'm just playing. We all know what you did was amazing.
I know, of course. What you do is amazing too.
So what? Some guy did what?
This guy filled in his scorecard for the wrestler, and his kid lost. The coach's kid lost. So he wrote like 8-7, put asterisk bad officiating.
Wow.
Like and then that it blew up in the league, and the guy said you shouldn't make it so close where it's 8-7. So same with Pena. I mean, yeah. You can't leave it in the hands of the judges,
right?
So
yeah, I've had fights where I was pissed that what the hell? How did they give that to him? But that's the business too, and he even said it in his statement, right, or whatever his post, where he said that it's the guy's hometown, right?
Yeah.
So and we can pretend it's a fair fight. Mm-hmm. But there's no such thing as a fair fight.
No, who was the one fight? There was one fight this weekend where the one guy couldn't believe he lost.
That was the one. That was the violent Bob
Ross. That was the one, yeah. And he was like, he walked out.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no, I did see that
Too
fight.
busy making fun of my middle school accomplishments.
I couldn't believe he lost either.
Really?
I couldn't believe it.
Really?
I was with him. I was like, what? He beat him
he did not beat him every round. He
beat him the second round. He didn't win the second round.
No, the second round was when he won.
Was it?
Yeah. Second round was when he half the guy out.
He definitely won 2 out of 3 rounds. I thought he clearly won that fight. And I was with him. I was like, yeah, I don't know how
I thought he won, but I thought it was close enough I thought it was close enough where you could give the other guy the fight.
Especially if it was in his hometown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what's crazy. So Chris Curtis in the PFL last weekend, right? Which, by the way, David Michaud is in the finals for $1 million.
Nice.
Love that guy. He's from Sioux Falls, North Dakota. He got cut from the UFC. He's a Native American, South Dakota. He's a Native American guy who tried out for the Ultimate Fighter, didn't make it, made it to the UFC, got cut. Then he was like on Combate or something. Now he's into the PFL. He's awesome and happy. But there was a guy, Chris Curtis, lost his first fight because it was you have to fight twice in one night. That's the whole thing. But it's only 2-round fights because according to the state, you can't have more than 5 rounds in one day or something, whatever it is. So the guy loses, retires, leaves his gloves in the octagon and says, I'm done.
Ooh, that's a dramatic retirement.
Then his opponent gets hurt. Now he has to come out of the retirement and fight an hour later. And then he loses again. The poor guy.
The universe is awfully funny, isn't it?
Oh, man.
It just likes to kick you when you're down. It's like, oh, you're retiring? How about we just have you suffer one more defeat?
Double retire.
Let's double retire you.
Just kidding.
Man, the poor guy, right?
That's fucking horrible.
That sucks.
Yeah.
But I did think Luis Pena won that fight. I really did. I was with him. I thought it was pretty obvious, too. But that was, what do I know?
All right, so we're going to talk to Colby Covington.
That's true. We all agree at this table, I know the least about MMA.
No, it was very close. I think most people would agree with you, Greg. But it was close enough. I'll tell you what fight they should have stopped. The guy who looked like Kid Rock in the 9th grade.
Jesus, dude.
He looked like Jesus. He was taking everyone's beating as Jesus did. Mike Davis beat Thomas Gifford. Do you see that fight?
I don't think I saw it.
He got what the hell's up with the ref, man? What? We're just gonna let guys get beat to death nowadays, huh?
I mean, if he's still standing on his feet.
Yeah, I know. But still, I mean, they stop it in boxing,
Like, that was my fight, where it was like, yeah, I'm still standing here. I'm not falling down from these shots, but in my head, it's like, fucking call your mom, dude.
Is he attacking back? Is he defending himself? Is he, you know what I mean? If he's turtled up, getting beat up, if he's out,
especially if he's turning off.
Being out on your feet is a thing, man. The fencing response,
real.
You get stuck standing up, you know what I mean, and you don't fall down.
He's just punching you back up onto your feet.
Because our balance is a lower brain function. It's part of your limbic system. You can still stand up and be like on your feet, but not be aware of anything. Your whole frontal cortex is shut down. You're just all beat to shit. You know, and it's the
like when you're too drunk, but you're high on Red Bull.
It's the referee. It's the referee's job.
You're still operating.
To take care of that.
You don't remember it. You're blackout drunk. You're not even there, man. But your body's still fucking fully operating.
Have you ever got punched back into consciousness?
Very similar.
I get it.
Getting knocked out.
Hold on. Have you ever how they say you knock a guy out, then you punch him back into consciousness? Have you had that happen to you?
I never lost consciousness, and I never got knocked out. But
really,
never.
Ever?
Yeah, never.
Wow.
I know. And but I have been hit hard and felt wonky, and then hit again and felt like, oh, I'm fine. Yeah. That is the thing. I don't know how, like maybe if you hit a guy with the left and he's wonky, you hit him with the right.
Knocks it right back in place.
It like puts your soul back into the line.
It recenters you.
Back into you put the Legos back in the hole, you know what I mean? And suddenly you're okay again. Yeah, that's something. I've done that to dudes too, like where I had him like fucking knocked out, and then I hit him and he comes back to life. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah. I don't know if it's adrenaline response. I don't know. There's more data needs to be.
Weird.
Why did you give Dalloway a noogie during that fight?
Everyone else that. I don't know. I was just frustrated that he was just hugging me the whole time. I was like, what the hell? I thought we were fighting here. And I don't know.
Joe Rogan goes, Mayhem just gave him a noogie.
Oh, you know
that's what I'm saying, bro. I was having too much fun I was having too much fun. I didn't care. I was just so excited to be out there doing the thing I love,
By the way, you know how how last time I was saying that maybe I was ready for somebody other than Bruce Buffer?
Yeah.
And then on this one, they had the guy that wasn't Bruce Buffer.
Yeah.
And I was like, bring back Bruce.
Yeah.
I don't like this other guy. He's too announcery.
People don't like change, though. You don't think you could give him a try?
We gave him a try.
I know, but you don't.
But it was like, but I didn't. I thought he was too announcery too. Like, I didn't. I was like, go back to Bruce. I was wrong.
There were a couple things that Rogan said over the years, like you could tell, like he tries not to do comedy when he's announcing. Yeah. But then things just like
slip out.
Oh yeah, like I remember when he was, I think it was Chael versus. Anderson Silva the first time. I think Anderson had Steven Seagal in the corner, and then Joe Rogan was like, "I wonder what Steven Seagal told him in between rounds." and then Goldberg was
he's like, "Don't forget to step into your lighting."
and then get on your mark.
And then Goldberg was like, "Okay, very funny, Joe." And he's like, "No, I actually really want to know."
And make sure the catering orders those pepperoni sticks.
And then there was a time where I think Rogan said that the guy had retard strength. Like during a fight.
Oh, Wes Sims, dude.
Idiot, that was me.
That was you?
That was
you had a retard.
Wow. What fight was that? Was that GSP?
GSP, yeah.
Because Mayhem has retard strength.
Yeah.
That's fucking funny.
Jeez. That's not culturally appropriate these days.
Oh, it's so classic.
And then he said, and then he got upset because he was like, he's doing a rape choke right now, and then he got like.
No, I did that on Bully Beatdown. I told they asked me, because I was like the consultant for that thing, and they were like asking like, oh, well, what do you call that technique that he was doing? I was like, call it the rape choke, and they're like, ooh, this is on MTV. I was like, they're like, can you come up with another one? I was like, all right, the non-consensual sex choke.
I was gonna say,
and that got in. That worked.
I was like, wow. Changed it to just rape grip.
I know, yeah. Just,
wait, you said non-consensual sex?
Yeah, no, I said
that got in.
Yeah, that got in. I didn't, because it's like you gotta think. It's one of those jokes that adults get, but the little kids don't get.
It's a Cosby.
Well, what little kids were watching
Cosby joke? It's a Cosby handshake.
It's a Cosby handshake.
Jesus Christ. May he rest in peace.
Well, Rogan said.
He's not dead yet.
Let him get some rest in jail.
Yeah, well, Rogan did say my joke. He gave me credit for it. Like back in the day, he was like, my friend Adam Comedian says, He goes, Martin Kampman comes from behind more than Lance Bass, and then all these people.
He said that on the broadcast.
He said it on like Fox.
Jiminy Christmas.
And then all these people like wanted to get him fired for that. And then people were like, I'm offended that you think he's a top. There's no way Lance Bass is a top. It was the whole fucking thing. So anyway, we're trying to get Colby Covington on the thing. It actually finally got announced officially.
Yep.
That he's
Official.
fighting
Colby and Kamaru.
Usman.
Bro, there's already a billboard on the way up here. I saw it. I was
Really?
pretty stoked.
Oh wow, geez, boy.
Well, it was an electronic one. So,
Oh, right.
you
They
know,
got that up fast.
Instant. Somebody just
Yeah.
straight blogged that.
Guys, talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, okay.
So
So how old were you when you realized you wanted to be a fighter?
Like 3.
Right? Because you
I
seem
don't
like,
know.
'cause
I
you
was
seem
already,
like one of
like,
those guys
fighting.
that are natural, like you just love fighting.
Well, look, I grew up in a damn army town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like aggressive, like
Which town?
Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
Oh, okay, well, that is an
So,
army town.
Yeah. So, you know, it was like, I don't know, being a tough guy was kind of ingrained in the whole culture, you know?
Yeah.
And my dad would always say, when you can beat my ass, you're a man, you know? And then when I beat his ass, he kicked me out of his house. So,
How old were you?
4.
yeah.
Exactly, and that was
I was a
insane.
man.
I was 12.
Yeah.
How old were you?
Like what? 17. Like I find
That's about the right age.
I hit him with the damn arm bar and I hit him with the push kick, hit him with the, you know.
Would your dad tap out? You put an arm up?
Yeah, he tapped out. Son of a, you know, we joke about that shit all the
He
time.
tapped out and then he was like, all right,
But
get your
I
shit
mean,
and get the fuck out.
I
That was
still
probably-
have a losing record against him.
That was
but,
probably
yeah.
like the proudest and most demoralizing moment of his life at the same time. Like,
Kinda, yeah.
Wait, your dad beat you up a lot as a kid?
Yeah, you know, I mean, look, I didn't even realize until like I went to therapy, like that these type of things were not
Not
good.
normal.
Yeah, they're not natural.
Like I was like,
Not
what?
supposed to-
Wait a
Not how
minute.
you're supposed to
Everybody
do
can't
that.
beat their ass, you know. But like now, looking back, I get it. You know, it's
Yeah.
like it gives a lot of insight. So because like the horror on the therapist's face when I just say things casually, you know what I mean? Like, yo, fucking kick me down the stairs. What? You know, like I was being a dick. You know, no.
isn't that the best thing when you're so you're
Yeah,
completely
it's like, wait a
okay
minute, so
with
that's
it,
not normal?
and you tell
It
someone, and they're
explains
like,
a lot
"What
about
the
my life.
fuck?"
That like my level of
what?
like trauma is so high that I was like always craving that high
Yeah.
level of like stimulation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your dad jumped out of airplanes for the army, right?
Exactly. Yeah. My dad was a paratrooper.
So he was
and
addicted
all
to that too. He
was,
needed
yeah. And
that
his
high
dad-
level of just
and
shit
his
going
dad, and
haywire.
Whenever I have a kid, you know, I gotta fucking chuck him down some stairs or something.
No, please don't do that.
I know.
But I do remember.
Don't call Child Protective Services. I don't even have a kid. My theoretical kid has not been thrown down the stairs. I promise.
Child Protective Services are going to come and fucking milk you just to
Yeah.
make sure that you.
But I do remember, like, at the height of your popularity,
Yeah.
you got arrested for putting your sister in a headlock.
Yeah, because look, my family is aggressive. My sister is bigger than you. Could probably beat your ass if you
Probably.
didn't know how to wrestle. Hey, and she like she got into it with me, threw a fucking right hook at me. I like ducked it and like grabbed her, snatched her in the headlock, shit, and held her down while the
trying to kill her
entire house was watching us through the windows. And then she stood up, and that was so embarrassing that everybody was kind of laughing that I headlocked her. That she went to the cops and got me busted for that, man.
But this was
I know, what a
But this was at a,
You know what it
this
is,
was at a
dude?
party.
At a party, yeah.
At a party.
You know what it sounds like? Okay, you ever seen that movie Four
TMZ.
Christmases?
No.
Yes.
You're right when
The
they go to
brothers.
the brothers.
I
They
don't
go to
know.
and Robert Duvall's the dad, and the two brothers are like they want to be MMA fighters, so
Yeah.
everything is just fucking fighting full steam all the time. That's your house.
Yeah,
You're the
yeah,
house.
that's pretty-
Yeah, but
Yours
this
was
happened.
that house.
Yeah, but he was
in
like,
fucking
but he
Four
was
Christmases.
37 years old when this happened. This wasn't like a fucking 9-year-old putting his sister in a headlock. He was like,
Neither were these. These were adults.
37.
You got to see the movie. Four Christmases, I think, is hilarious.
Oh,
You've been
geez.
37 now?
Yeah, no, it's all good. 29 again.
well, in Mayhem. By the way, I'm trying to get you cleared to coach wrestling with the kids.
Yeah.
It was kind of a tough
I
conversation.
think it's pretty good. I know. I wonder how. Tell me about this.
So you've been when you used to call me from jail, you're like, all I want to do, man, is get out of here and help coach wrestling. And
Yeah.
I was like so sweet, and I was like, I'll do what I can to make that happen. Right?
Yeah, but
So I went to my athletic director.
Oh, God.
I go, hey, you know Mayhem Miller, and he's an MMA fan. He goes, yeah. I remember I think he's had a rough go the last couple of years. Like really sweet. Like
Yeah.
I go, well, you know, he's out of jail. And
it's always a good thing to like go to the boss and like, you know, he's
out
out
of
of jail
jail,
now.
yeah, let's
that's a good first.
Good opener.
I go. He's doing really well. You know, he was on this podcast and that. He's looking for a job, and I thought maybe he can come help coach wrestling. You know, with the kids. And there was this like silence.
Cricket.
And he's like, "Oh, well, how long was he in jail for?" I was like, "Just I don't know, a year and a half." And then he's like, "Yeah, that's kind of serious." He goes, "Well, let me think about it." Like, so it's not over yet. But he goes, "What about having him?" Because I coach out of my garage, and Aldo coaches at a club. He goes, "How about having him at the club, see how he does, and then we'll have him in school." So it's not over. It's just I'm trying.
Man, I gotta jump through hoops to coach 8th grade wrestling.
I just don't want you to
yeah, that's all good.
I don't want you to think I'm blowing you off.
Nah, it's all good.
It's all about liability. Everybody's got to cover their ass.
Luckily,
Meanwhile, Jay Moore is doing cocaine off the kid's head. And giving them life advice to divorce their wife.
Yeah, but that's high school, so that's not. This is middle school.
Luckily,
listen, technically, I mean, he got the coke from the kid.
Yeah, okay.
So
it's a delicate ecosystem.
I mean, exactly. That is, to be fair, the kid's his dealer.
Tyler is also my coach, and we have this one kid who's like a ringer. The kid has a mustache in 8th grade.
Nice.
And he boxes, and he's like a 12-pack.
He's jacked, dude.
I mean, the kid, and he's
jacked.
He's throwing Japanese arm throws. I was like, "Where did you learn that?" He's like, "I just made it up." And I'm like, like the hearts come out of my head. Like, this is great. But right away yesterday, I'm like, "Hey guys, make sure you get your grades done." And then his head goes down. I'm like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, he's failing a couple classes." So now I'm gonna get him a private tutor.
Just so you can feel better about your wrestling team.
What a dirtbag. It's awesome.
It's like, we're not going to any tournaments without the ringer.
Commitment.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know how old this kid. I think he's like 30.
Yeah. You're becoming that asshole coach that's gonna write like bad officiating, anything to win, like anything.
No,
to win.
we just yell at the refs.
All right.
We're not passive aggressive.
We would have won for the first time in like 10 years if I hadn't got a point taken away for yelling at the ref.
No.
Yeah.
Way to go,
That
coach.
video you posted of you coaching the kid through the takedown and everything, you looked so exhausted at the end of it. Like, and then
He's done, folks. Get him a towel.
I was like,
totally. He was spent.
Dude, the hard part was last week I was holding the baby. The baby refused to go in the wrestling room. She's crying. I'm coaching from like the hallway. Like telling
Daddy, it smells like balls in here.
Yeah, really.
I don't.
Bless your
How
heart.
did you drop
So
from a seated position?
no, you were a good wrestler in high school, right? In Atlanta?
Yeah, not Atlanta. And I was in North Carolina still.
What did you place in the States or anything?
Yeah. Well, I almost placed in the state. I got to the damn semifinals, and I was standing across, and talk about a ringer, bro. I got to the mat that they called me to, and I looked across, and it looked like this 230-pound black kid, Kevin Randleman, standing across from me.
It was Kevin Randleman?
No, it looked like him, and I was like, "Am I on the right mat?" You know, and I go, and this kid earths me on the fucking, just cross faces the shit out of me like an uppercut, splashes me on the ground. Man, I was so mad that I was like, no, I'm not going out like this. I grabbed his balls so hard, bro.
There you go.
And he went, oh, and nobody saw it. And I was, ha ha. And I got a point for an escape. And then, bro,
old ball.
I just pissed him off. He fucking pinned me right after that.
3 points, hand job.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Man, that was
Gary Goodrich did that in a fight. You ever tell that story?
No.
He was told me he was fighting over in Brazil. They said no rules. He was all back when they had no rules.
No rule.
Then they told him he couldn't eye gouge or bite.
Didn't
and he was
say,
so angry.
squeeze the nuts.
So he's in there and he grabs the guy's cup, removes it. And this guy was an arm wrestler. Grabbed the guy's balls and just squeezed as hard as he could. The guy taps. And then everyone starts throwing fucking garbage and beer and shit.
Hey, man.
You're like, hey,
No rules is no rules.
You didn't say I couldn't
man,
brown eye gouge.
Yeah. No rules is no rules.
Yeah, that was a crazy story. And then Renzo Gracie said he got stabbed during a fight one time.
Yeah.
That he was back against the cage, someone stabbed him, and he still fought and won.
Yeah, I remember that.
God.
So technically, the cage was at a liquor store.
Yeah. Hey,
They're just fighting three randos.
what's up? Hey, Colby Covington.
I'm trying to call.
What's up with Colby?
I'm trying to call him right now.
Bro, don't even an impeachment inquiry right now.
No. He said, "Is that video?" I go, "Is this video?" I go, "Yeah, is that okay?" So I'm just
He
waiting.
doesn't want to be on the
He
damn
won't be on.
speaker
Do they
phone.
get him on the video?
Yeah, we can get him on there.
Oh, okay.
really?
Yeah,
awesome.
that was the whole problem with last time, is that it wasn't working with the video.
Oh.
So yeah, we'll see.
I was told because we were trying to get it all the way from down under.
Okay.
Is that where he's at right now?
No, it was the last
my
guy.
bad.
Who was it? Who was that we were trying to get?
Okay,
to?
so Colby should be on pretty soon. So have you gotten laid yet since you've been out of jail?
Oh, that sounds like a maybe.
Nice.
I mean, listen, it's not that nice. I mean, it was like, 2 minutes of glory. It's just like I was looking at the clock, like, man, I'm fucking gassing out on that.
That was longer than your
I would love to see the look on your face after that. You're like,
well, that was
it's
longer than
just-
your last fight. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was just like,
Was Matt Hurwitz in the corner?
Yeah, reading the Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Thou
reading
shalt not
Leviticus.
fornicate.
So it was a girl that you a new one or someone that you
Lady,
actually
a lady.
Someone,
a
yeah.
lady that like you had from the past, or is it someone that you just
What
met?
the fuck? Are you a Howard Stern now? You wanna smell my fingers right now, bro?
Yeah, the worst.
Jesus Christ. He just can't help it.
Can't
This is
help
who
it.
he
He's
is.
got-
It's always gonna
been
come
through a
to
line
this.
You wanna hear
stepper.
something
Sick
funny?
desperation
No, you
in
told
this
first of
man.
all,
He
you told me.
loves sex questions
Yeah.
and money questions.
I know.
Like the most sex
So,
questions.
did you fuck her with the $200 bill? Yeah. Like,
First of all,
Just
okay.
stupid.
Did you pay her?
No, first of all,
Or was
you
this a
told me.
voluntary?
First of all, you told me not to change because
I
what
don't-
happened was at
don't
the Laugh
change.
Factory, Camilla Cleese was there, and I go, "Hey, this is Camilla. She's John Cleese's daughter," which I could tell right away. I
Immediately
was
he
like-
said that.
because it was
I was
on
like,
my
bro.
mind, right? So
I was like, look, I already wanted to fuck her. Like, you didn't have to say
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
That doesn't help.
Like, I'm
have
not
to
trying to
scare
fuck-
me.
I'm not trying to fuck her tradition.
So then she gets up and leaves, and I was like, you know what? I go,
I'm
listen.
fucking comedy
not trying-
royalty right here.
Yeah, I'm not trying to fuck the flying circus. No.
God, now who's got the faulty tower now?
Yeah.
So then-
oh, God.
so then she gets
You're
up
getting
and-
deep with
Banging those
references.
coconuts together.
Yeah.
It's the champ. The champ is here. Right in front
Champ is here.
right in front of Trump. Colby Covington,
Hell
how
yeah.
are you, man?
I'm doing great. How you doing, boys?
Good. We got me, Greg, Tyler, and Mayhem Miller out of jail, back in here, talking to you, man. How's it going?
It's going good, man. Can't complain. Living the American dream.
Yeah. So the fight is finalized. Las Vegas. How pumped are you? How's training camp going?
Dude, training camp's been amazing, man. I've been really working on my cardio in the bedroom with all my ladies. Just having a good time, man. I wish the fight was next weekend. I'm ready to go right now, man. I've been putting 10, 15 rounds in the bedroom, so you're going to see the best version.
Nice. The sound is the sound off?
Hey,
Is it better?
save your mustard, bud. Like, don't burn out. You got till December, right? December 15th, right?
No,
Yeah, we
Colby.
got plenty of time, man, here.
No. First they were kind of screwing you. Supposed to be at MSG. Then you said you read The Art of the Deal, so you know about negotiating. And I was like, hope he didn't fuck himself out of this fight. And you got what you wanted. How did that happen?
Because I'm a smart businessman. I know what I'm playing chess. All these jobbers in the UFC are playing checkers. So there's a difference between this. I wanted an MSG. I really wanted to go end Marty Fake Newsman's career in Madison Square Garden, right in front of the Trump family, right in front of the president. But he didn't want to fight anyone. He's a bitch. So he didn't want to show up. So it's not my fault. I have to wait till Vegas in December.
Yeah. Now his manager's got into a fight last week at the PFL. You see that he attacked another manager?
No.
Yeah, Ali Abdulaziz attacked.
Oh,
That's right,
surprise, surprise.
Attacked Maki Kawa. What happened?
Oh, you're lying to the people, man. His name is Ali Abdelaziz.
Right.
The guy's a fucking sleazebag, dude.
Yeah.
Hey,
He's
but
out there.
seriously. Well, what's the game plan versus Usman? Like, or fake newsman, right? How's it
Yeah,
called?
fake
newsman.
What's the game plan? Like, how are you game planning for this fight? Like, on a serious tip.
I mean, on a serious tip, man, have you seen that receding hairline that he has?
I didn't even know he had one.
Yeah, exactly. It's not
That was the
existent.
serious
It's not there
tip?
Yeah,
anymore.
perfect.
The only
Colby,
thing he's losing faster than that hairline is that fake #1 contender Power Ranger belt. He's gonna get fucking exposed in Vegas. His wrestling is, every fight he has to use wrestling to take guys down and wear on them, and he's scared to strike. He's scared to get in the pocket. So, when he finds out that he can't wrestle with me and he's gassed out in the first 2 rounds, I'm gonna knock his fucking head clean off into the first row.
There you go.
I mean,
Boom,
look,
there
I mean,
it is.
your last fight, both of you guys beat Robbie Lawler. You guys have that in common.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Great job.
Your last fight, you looked great against Robbie Lawler. Now, I do worry. Now, look, we've hung out before. You're one of the nicest guys I've met. Just a sweet guy, just kind, very respectful. But then sometimes, it's like you got into it with Poirier. Poirier said he was going to fight you on site or something because you picked against him.
Well, first off, I gave an honest opinion. I thought we were in America. It was freedom of speech. I gave an opinion, and it was a truthful opinion, by the way. It wasn't a lie. What's wrong with me giving a truthful opinion anymore? I thought we were in America.
Right.
Absolutely.
And
God bless it.
And
Randy Marsh,
what you said actually happened. I mean, what you said was going to happen. But he said he wanted. But has it created some kind of conflict at ATT? Is it hard for you, at American Top Team?
Nah, Dan Lambert, the owner of American Top Team and my manager, he's got everything under control. He's making sure no one's acting stupid. But even if they were going to act stupid, what are they going to do? I'm the best fighter in the world. They can say all these threats in the media and act tough, but they know what happens in real life. That story doesn't end well for them. I will take their health. So, he can say all these things. He was saying on Era Hawani, I'm going to show up October 12th and beat Colby's ass, blah, blah, blah. Dude, I've been in the gym every single day since that day waiting for you, bro. So if you got something to say, come say it to my fucking face. But if you want to talk like a man and not have feelings, then we can talk like men too. I just gave an opinion. And if he, what's funny about me giving that opinion is he gave the same opinion a couple weeks before and he picked Robbie Lawler to beat me. Did I get mad? No, I didn't get my feelings hurt. I went out there and proved him wrong and beat Robbie Lawler's ass. So
yeah, but he fucking lost. So it's a little, you don't think that he can get in his feelings a little bit,
Yeah, but you're not the guy he's taking on.
Hey, Jason, you know what UFC stands for, right?
What's that?
Ultimate Feelings Championship.
I'm liking this guy more and more.
No. Look, Jason was away for a year. I kind of caught him up on you, and he said he was a big fan of what you're doing.
Yeah, everybody told me about you, bro. All the cops in the jailhouse was your fan, by the way. They love you, bro.
Big fan of you too, Jason. I've been watching you since Bully Beatdown.
Hell yeah, bro. God bless you.
Beatdown, baby.
I love this guy.
Now, when I hung out with you and Masvidal, you guys were so tight. And obviously, he's a great fighter. You're a great fighter. You guys make each other better. Is there any kind of a worry that he's not going to be around in this camp to help you prepare for Usman?
Well, let's backtrack a little bit. Being a 50-50 journeyman considers you a great fighter these days?
I mean, he did knock out Ben Askren in 8 seconds.
5.
Oh, he did. And a guy that's a bunch of idiots over in China bingo halls. Oh, big deal. What's his record in the last 4 fights?
This guy makes some compelling arguments.
Really does.
You can't argue with his logic, really.
Colby, when you're done fighting, are you just going to go straight into stand-up, or are you going to have some weird transition period?
Now, I had heard, though.
Mayhem should do it together.
Oh, my God.
I thought maybe
Mike's a fear.
Now, Colby, I thought maybe this was partly okay, you're exaggerating a little bit for the cameras. But then I recently talked to someone at OSU and said you went on the recruiting trip for OSU and you didn't get along with anyone at Oklahoma State and they took back your scholarship while you were in high school going on a recruiting trip. Well, what happened there?
I don't play well with others, man. So the biggest thing is, I've been saying this since the beginning. I'm not here to make friends with anybody. I'm here to make money, and if people money, they're going to be left just like everybody else in a pool of blood.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Fair enough, man.
So after you beat Usman in Las Vegas, what are you gonna? Are you gonna jump at? What?
Can we get his name right?
Fake
Marty
Newsman, right?
Fake
Sorry.
Newsman.
Okay, so after you beat Fake Newsman, are you gonna jump into the crowd and take on Ali Abdelaziz like the other guy did, like Khabib did?
Nah, man. Why would I jump after a guy that was like 0-6 in his fighting career? The guy's a complete jobber and a waste of space. I mean, he's a little terrorist informant rat, and I have nothing to say or do to him. He can send his best fighters at me. They're all just don't expect to have him back in one piece. And Marty Fake Newsman December 14th, and then that little Russian sheepfucker Khabib after that.
He's calling out names. Love it.
So who are your friends? I mean, do you have any friends?
I think he has a picture of him right behind.
I mean, besides Trump, I mean, who at the gym are you? Who's getting you better at the gym right now?
I got my boy Tony Murphy. I got Olympic level wrestler Pat Downey out here helping me with wrestling. Not that I need any help, but I got some great striking coaches. My head coach Conan Silvera, man, he's putting the game plan together, everything together, and everything's running smooth. We got a lot of great training partners around us.
Now, I mean, Usman, I was at the Woodley fight. He just obliterated Tyron Woodley. And Tyron Woodley is an amazing fighter. Have you been watching?
Woodley sucks.
Look, man.
You think Woodley
he has
sucks?
his opinion, bro.
Mayhem, you don't think Woodley sucks?
I mean, I
Jason,
think
he's
that is
the
a bad
human form.
matchup. Yeah.
What?
He's the human form of NyQuil. That's why they call him Tyquil. If you want to go to sleep, just watch a Tyron Woodley fight.
Now, all right, okay. We'll switch topics. So the women that you make these videos with every week, right? There's always, like, some of them are porn stars, some of them are just models. Are you sleeping? Like, how does that work? So you get, there's a company that sets you up with these girls. You make the videos, and then afterwards, do you say goodbye, or do you take them back to your place, or what's going on?
I don't know where you got that narrative about some company setting.
Yeah, we're all thinking the same thing.
You always make shit up.
Aren't they porn stars out of Miami or something? Or?
I know you're a Ben Askren fan. I know you're a Tyquil Woodley fan. But, you don't got to make this narrative and this angle like some bullshit. Man, dude, I got thousands of DMs daily from some of the hottest chicks in Miami. You think I have to go through an agency to get these girls?
No, that made no sense.
No, because they're all.
We're all looking at each other like, wait a minute.
Because they're all.
Sign up
No,
with
they're
this
all on that
company?
porn. A lot of them are on that porn site out of Miami. What's it? The
Brazzers?
What's the one out of Miami? I don't know.
This guy
Bang
watches
Bros.
way too much
Brazzers.
porn.
Brazzers,
Bang Bros?
Bang Brothers.
Jesus, Adam.
A lot of them have been on Bang Brothers. So.
I thought when you got married, you're supposed to get laid.
No, it's the odd.
Stop acting like a virgin, Adam. Come on,
I'm living vicariously through you, man. You're my hero. All right, so, but after you take the videos with the girl, you make your pics, and seem like, do you say goodbye, or like, is there a date involved? Are you whining and dining? That's it. What happened?
He hung up on your
Adam,
ass.
Is that my?
Oh, there he is. He's back.
okay.
He's back.
Okay.
He's back. He's back.
Oh, okay.
So what happens afterwards? You and these girls?
You know I don't kiss and tell, Adam. Come on,
Yeah, you
bro.
do. You talk about banging the chicks all the time. You said after you beat RDA, you bang the girls with the belt.
Nah, bro. He gives him a glass of orange juice and a Plan B.
There you
That's
go.
right. Hey, I don't pay the girls to hang out. I pay the fucking girls to leave and get the fuck out of my
Right.
sight.
That's exactly right. That's right. Get the fuck out. We're done. Good for you.
See ya.
Here's some money for an Egg McMuffin and an Uber.
Now, are you worried? By the way, all right. So, all right. Let's talk politics. Are you worried about Trump getting him impeached at all, or no?
Are you kidding me? He's going to win by a landslide in 2020. They're trying to impeach him off all lies. There's nothing even like concrete that they can go with.
What was it like being in the White House?
Dude, it was incredible, man. Just. I mean, being I wasn't just in the White House. I was in the Oval Office.
Hell yeah.
It was incredible, man. Hanging out with the President of the United States. It's never been done before in this sport. A fighter to go to the White House and hang out with the sitting president in the Oval Office. It's a special day that will never be forgotten, and it's a part of history. Just one of the records that I've broken in my time in the UFC.
Was Dana with you?
Yeah, unfortunately, that Uncle Fester was with me.
Come on, that's the.
Don't bite the hand that feeds you, bro.
Yeah, don't bite the. Mayhem, tell him about that.
You don't
Here's the guy
fucking
that
feed me.
knows.
I feed myself. I never had a handout. No one gave me anything. I earned it the fucking hard way. I got more money in sponsors than I get for my fights, so I don't need shit from Dana. He's a bald-headed prick.
man.
You know what? I'm gonna agree with you on that.
Come on.
Well, he's the only one that knows.
He's a good friend of mine. I'm a big fan of Dana White. He's done a lot. You guys wouldn't have an
I was
organization.
gonna say, I mean, he printed that belt. I mean,
You're right.
You guys wouldn't have an organization to fight in if it wasn't for Dana White. No.
I'd be making more money somewhere else fighting, bro. I don't need to be in the UFC. You think I give a shit about the UFC? I'm a prize fighter. I fight for money, and I'm the biggest name in the game right now. I could go anywhere and sell fights and promote fights. I could fucking sell a fight with a fucking mop.
Hell yeah.
How many fights do you have left on your contract?
I have 3 fights left on my contract.
And are you looking to move? Are you gonna shop your options? Or I mean, you're gonna be the champ, so do you want to stay in the UFC and defend that belt, or what's the next move? If you're thinking that far ahead, even?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely thinking far ahead. You know, I'm a money fighter at the end of the day, so whoever's gonna give me the most money to fight, that's where I'm gonna go. But I'm gonna explore my options in WWE. I have a lot of friends in WWE right now. So I'm gonna be exploring my options there. Maybe I'll be in Hollywood one day. Who knows? I got a lot of options, but that's the beauty about what I do and what I bring to the table is that I'm not just a fighter. I'm a marketer and a promoter. So I could go anywhere and make money.
Dude, one of my favorite stories about this guy was he was wrestling Ben Askren. Askren was the coach of the kid he was beating, and then he started talking shit to the Askren, the coach, while he's wrestling in college. Going, you don't want none of this. You don't want none of this. That was. But like Askren was an Olympian.
It's Ben Askren.
Ben
Askren.
Now, who do you think wins? You fought Damian Maia, but who do you think wins, Askren or Maia?
Maia for sure. He's going to either choke out Askren if he tries to take him down, or he's going to piece him up on the feet because Askren has those little pillow fists. He's never learned how to throw a punch in his life.
What about Nate Diaz or Masvidal?
Oh man, the BMF title, the broken mediocre fighter title. Who's gonna win? I mean, it's cute that they're giving them a participation trophy. That's what's sad about the world these days is they let everybody live in safe spaces. So that's cute. They want to give those guys a participation trophy. I could care less who wins that fight. It's a battle of the journeyman, 50-50 fighter. Who's gonna come out with a winning record after that fight?
Dude, when we hung out with Masvidal, you were saying how impressed you were that he came from nothing. He was a Kimbo fighter on the back in the day in the backyard.
Bro, he's just red pilling you right now, bro. Wake up.
No, I mean Nate Diaz is an all-time great. You don't think he's an
all-time great?
Yes. Come on.
What?
At fighting.
What's he an all-time great at, Adam?
I would say but he's a legend. He's at least a legend.
He beat Conor McGregor. He beat Cowboy Cerrone. He beat a lot of great guys. What?
He beat a featherweight. He beat a Brokeback Cowboy. Brokeback Mountain Cowboy.
Aren't you and Cowboy friends? You guys both Trump supporters and do your own thing? No.
It's like saying, oh, you guys are both black. You guys are both black.
I don't associate with losers.
Aren't you guys both buddies? No, you and Cowboy are buddies?
I don't associate with losers, Adam.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Now you and Miesha Tate got into it. Are you guys cool now? You and Miesha? No?
We were never cool. I could give a fuck less about her, man. She got famous out putting a bunch of naked leaked pics out on the internet. And then she's out there, cheating on her boyfriend, Brian Caraway, at Team Alpha Male. So, the girl's a scumbag. She wants to be a hypocrite and call me out for the way I made my career and living. But what's funny is she was the same way. That's how she made her career, off controversy, off talking shit about Ronda and being Ronda's little bitch.
She beat Holly Holm. That was a pretty monumental moment for her, right?
Okay, what does that mean? What's Holly Holm's record? Like 11-11?
All right.
Bro, he's got an answer, bro. He's got an answer. This guy's the answer, man.
You can't debate.
Yeah.
You can't debate.
All right. I know you. All right.
He's just piecing you up on your own show, Adam.
He's not piecing me up. I'm a Miesha Tate fan. I think she's a great fighter. She was famous before those pictures came out. Come on. I mean, she just couldn't beat Ronda Rousey, but she beat a lot of good girls in her career. And then she's a good spokesperson. She's a nice person. I like her.
A spokesperson? She's a fucking shill. She's a shill for the ONE FC. Fucking Atari or whatever that dumbass's name with ONE FC just gives her cliff notes to go say and talk shit about the UFC and this and that. you can't believe anything that girl says. I mean, let's be honest. She's out here talking shit about me. Oh, I don't like the way you promote fights. Oh, you talk too much
No, I didn't like
trash.
that. And then she was kissing your butt when you came on the show, and you can't do that.
Yeah,
you can't
and
have
then
both
she's
ways.
kissing my ass. It's like, you're a two-faced bitch. Like, stop being two-faced. Just be real.
You're right. Being real would be the way to go.
Yeah.
And I'm a lot
I think
more.
that's why people are a fan of Colby, because he's like at the end of the day, he's real.
But
He says what's on his
I've
mind.
hung out. He's a nice.
That's why I like you.
He's a very. When my mom passed away,
my
he was the
brother.
first person to text me, hopes everything's okay. He is a very real guy, Colby. Honestly, like I've been a fan of yours since.
And to think he had to stop eating pussy to send that text.
Dude, I mean, I was at one of his fights. He came to my comedy show the night before. He's walking to the cage. He goes, "Hey, what's up, Adam?" And then goes and kicks somebody's ass.
Casual.
Exactly. Oh my God! You see what happened to Adam?
That's true. But I just do. But I mean, is there a danger of not having the best training partners because you've pissed off the Brazilians, the Russians, and half of ATT?
To be honest, no, man. I can show up tomorrow. I'm ready to fight, man. It doesn't matter. You know, I get all my training in the bedroom these days, Adam. I got orgasms. I got orgies. I got, all different chicks. I think that's the best way. It's non-impact. You're not hurting your joints. You're getting that good.
It's not impact. You're not doing it right.
Good lower back workout. Good lower back workout. A lot of stamina.
Now, Jon Jones said that Robbie Lawler let the world down when you beat him.
Isn't that funny coming from Mr. Coke Jones that Robbie Lawler let the world down when he was too busy hitting drunk ladies in his Bentley with two hookers in the back, and he's claiming to be a father and a good family man, and he's out there failing multiple steroid tests, but Robbie Lawler let the world down. No, you let the world down.
You're right. When it comes to letting people down, I'd say Jon Jones let people down.
But Adam, you see how all these people are hypocrites?
What?
All these people are two-faced. They're hypocrites. Dude, at least I call a spade a spade. I'm real, man. I say it how it is, man. I don't sugarcoat shit. And if you don't like me for not sugarcoating shit, I'm sorry. That's your problem, not mine. But, dude, look at all these guys. They're so fickle and two-faced and hypocritical, man.
Do you ever have time sleeping at night?
Nah, I sleep really good, man. After I get done in the bedroom, man, I pass right the fuck out.
Right, exactly.
I've seen these women. I've seen you with these women. It is.
Wait,
It's
you're
a sight to
sitting
see.
in the corner and watching him?
Yeah, in the corner. I have a spy cam. I have a spy cam. Now, Mayhem.
It's also a good workout for him.
Mayhem, you're a guy who's been
control,
top of the
Kobe.
world.
Risk control.
Yeah.
You were on top of the world, Bully beat down.
Yeah.
You were probably the most popular fighter in the world at one point, right behind like Chuck Liddell and maybe a couple other guys.
Yeah.
Any advice for this young up and coming star?
Listen, he got it all. He's got it all figured out. Look, I'm gonna let him keep doing his fucking thing. Yeah, come hang out with me later when you win your next fight. I just wanna. I gotta meet you, man. I gotta meet this guy. This guy's great. No advice necessary. He's got it all figured out.
And you think he's good for the sport? He's in a niche.
Oh my God!
He found a place where a lot of the old Chael Sonnen fans kind of gravitated to you. A lot of conservatives, a lot of Republicans, a lot of people that like a lot of wrestlers. A guy who you're kind of in that mold.
A lot of the
no one else,
bleed types.
but no one else is doing that. What you're doing. But I just hope that you guys. I mean,
It's called Making America Great Again. You fucks.
of course.
My man,
Liberal.
my brother.
No. How many cops did you fight? Okay, so
I was gonna say, I know that's what it's called. I don't know if that's what it really is.
how much of my taxpayers went to All right, so all right, so looking. Okay, December. I'll be at the fight. I'm gonna come. I'll be rooting you on.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Now,
My man.
anything you want to say to anybody out there, especially to Ali Abdulaziz or Usman or any of them?
He's all right.
No, I don't got time for those losers. We don't talk about losers. We're talking about winners and winning, and that's the Donald Trump way. The MAGA train, the Colby train's coming to town December 14th. So I hope to see you guys out in Las Vegas. We're gonna have a fun after party. Tons of hoes are gonna be there. I promise you that. I got hoes for everybody. I'm sorry, Adam, you had to get married, but my boy Jason, we'll be ready.
Mayhem's ready.
Sorry,
Mayhem's ready. Mayhem's gonna be there December 2nd.
He can have all of those.
He's just gonna be warming up.
Well, Colby, thank you for taking time out of your day to come on the podcast, man.
Yeah, man.
I really
Thank you for
appreciate
coming
it.
on the show.
Hell yeah, bro.
Thank you.
Pleasure, boys. Have a good night.
Thank
Take
you.
care, brother.
Take care.
Colby Covington, the man, the myth, the legend.
You know, I mean, listen.
He's still here.
Hey, we're still figuring it out. That's right. I think that was it. Now, listen, you don't have to agree with the guy politically to enjoy the fact that he's a real motherfucker. That's an amazing fighter.
Oh, I love him. I love him.
That guy is fucking hilarious. He's like on top of the world, bro. Yeah, good for him.
Listen.
And look, whatever, politics aside, you know, it just he's got some fucking good singers out there for everybody in the game.
Right. He's a fully solidified persona.
It's like a stand-up with a tight 10-minute set.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's got all the basics.
He's got his rhetoric down. You know what we call it in comedy is a very solidified perspective.
Yeah, there you go.
His perspective is completely solidified. He knows exactly where he's coming from on every single thing.
Yeah.
And that's just who he is, and he's great.
No, but also like sometimes
and he's also a great fighter.
But sometimes I'll ask him questions like, "What belt are you?" And he's like, "I'm a super black belt." He's like, "They gave me a black belt that was above everybody else." So like, I think I surprised him with the OSU thing. He didn't.
You didn't know you knew that one?
No, he didn't know.
You always get those nuggets, bro. You're like an investigative journalist or something.
Well, also like, who else is gonna
ask
who else is gonna know?
everything.
No, who else?
And since you have no filter
I knew
with
a guy
your
that was
weird-ass questions.
I knew a guy that was on the coaching staff of OSU that he like told me.
There you go.
Yeah, so he told me like, but no one else gonna know that. You know, no one else gonna ask him that question. I heard they took away his scholarship.
Took away the scholarship.
No way.
Because he didn't get away with the team. He didn't go on with the team. Like, what could he have done? I don't understand.
Where did he wrestle instead? I don't know.
I think we had a pretty good sample
Oregon State
of what he does.
Okay.
But he wasn't doing that in college. He wasn't like, I mean, Trump
Listen,
wasn't.
he is who he is. What changed was the brand. That's all.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it was back then, he was that guy about that then.
Yeah.
Whether it was probably, I don't know, maybe he was making fun of all the guys wearing the, who was that Persian guy shirt, all the glittery shit that was super popular.
Affliction.
No,
Affliction?
but like Affliction.
Yeah.
Remember that all the Armenians would wear all those fucking...
In the MMA?
No, I'm just saying, like, he probably made fun of all, whatever it was. Like,
Ed
look at you
Hardy?
fucking Ed Hardy.
Ed Hardy.
Look at all you Ed Hardy wearing motherfuckers.
Man, that was a long way to go.
I'll tell you what, Jesus Christ.
You think at OSU they were wearing Ed Hardy?
Couldn't find it.
You think at OSU,
Maybe
Oklahoma
they weren't
State,
that
they were
time.
wrestling Ed Hardy?
Maybe at the time, maybe.
And they were wearing flannels and.
No, they were all wearing. I can
Deere.
tell you, they were all wearing Aeropostale and.
Yeah, and
I'll tell you
all
what,
that
no, but that
dude.
And maybe
team.
he was the one wearing Ed Hardy.
But that
It was
team
like, look at you fucking John Deere motherfucker.
But that, necklaces.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
But that team had Johnny Hendricks, Daniel Cormier. It was just
Not at the same time.
a lot of them were like on it. No, I think Cormier's a
Cormier
little
was
older.
before, yeah.
But I mean that was a great OSU
Yeah.
team.
Oh, yeah.
It was those other guys.
OSU's always a great team.
Munoz.
Munoz, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Zach Esposito. That was some team. The guy that beat Askren twice. I'm trying to think of it. Anyway, so
Ed Hardy.
yeah, Ed Hardy.
Edward.
I'm just going to remember that for all time now, so I don't remember the search for it.
Dude, Ed Hardy and Von Dutch.
I get
Hey,
it.
what
You're the
happened
guy
to
that
Ed
fucking
Hardy, yeah.
remembered it.
I know, yeah, because I was like, what the hell is he trying to reference?
I know,
But
it
yeah,
took
Ed
forever.
Hardy took over the game like 10 years ago.
Totally, that's what I'm
like,
saying.
It was like
Out of
everybody
control,
had that.
out of control.
But isn't it like that,
And
though?
then it just
Every
died.
fashion style
Oh,
is
yeah.
like...
Anytime you get that
once
big,
it gets
yeah.
mass marketed, it's like you sell out to Walmart.
Exactly.
Or,
Exactly,
or you see yourself
Your
the
moment
villain.
just passes, exactly.
You die a hero,
or you
see
live long
yourself
enough
the
to become the
villain.
villain.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what happens. At a certain point, it's like, okay, this is cheesy now.
Yeah.
And it
It'll
was
come
cheesy
back.
then, but
It'll come back.
I never liked it, but I mean, but it was all over the place.
Yeah, the kind of like Tap Out when they went public. It was,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was over for them. Remember how huge they were?
Yeah.
Those.
But didn't they also
Now
tried to
they're-
start
now
their
they're
own
like-
fight league? I mean,
They did?
Yeah, didn't they?
geez.
That's why.
No, they had a reality show that was like.
And
Yeah,
isn't
they
that
had
why
a gym
UFC
too.
ended up going with Reebok and developing things because they wanted to get all of their logos out of their shows. And they started blurring out Tap Out on all the old, the UFC Unleashed or whatever. They would any guy that had like Tap Out on his clothes, they would blur it out. Yeah.
Chris Pendleton is, by the way, is the guy's name to beat Askren
yes.
twice. Kingdom of Comedy Show. Nice guy. So let's talk about
Ed Hardy.
The fights this week, this Friday night. UFC Boston.
Yes.
This Friday night, let's talk about. There's some good fights on this one. So upcoming events. First PFL also. PFL is going on this Thursday night. Make sure you watch that. Chris Weidman is taking on Dominic Reyes in the main event. Reyes is 11-0. This is a tough fight for Weidman because it's not a name guy. and it's a very dangerous guy.
Yeah.
And it's his first one at 205, right?
Yeah.
And this is like what post Yol splatter blasting his skull.
And what's his name too? Jacare, right? Didn't Jacare knock out Weidman?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's
It's like that, diminishing returns on the chin, huh?
Yeah.
Like starting to get easier to KO.
Rock
Yeah,
hold.
that's what we're talking
Yeah,
about. Like
so-
it's just.
I
It
hope
gets easier and easier.
I hope Chris
Dom
wins.
Reyes is a motherfucker, dude. He is.
It's
He's
almost
a
like
beast.
It's almost like
I don't really know too much about him. What does he do? Like what is he like a Muay Thai type fighter?
He's just a all around bang guy. He's got good ground. He's really
at
tough.
205.
He's really
and
tough
he's a
stand-up.
legitimate 205.
Sounds like Colby's
He's
an
a
all-around
legitimate
bang
too.
guy.
He's a Joe Stevenson guy.
Oh, okay.
He's a Cobra Kai guy.
he's out of California.
So he knows how to do
Millennia,
jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, so he's got really good jiu-jitsu. I think he's like a purple belt, high-level purple belt.
I hope Chris wins.
But he usually, he knocks people out, man.
Yeah.
That's what he does. And he just like shins to your head and to your body and elbows. Like he's nasty.
Which one is this?
Dom Reyes.
It seemed like success was the worst thing for Chris. When he was young and broke and hungry,
Yeah.
when he beat Anderson Silva twice,
Yeah, and then he just fell off. What happened?
well, Luke Rockhold happened.
Yeah, that's
That was
true.
the first thing. And that was
Yeah.
a very competitive fight. But then it was like, oh my, then he almost like he lost that invincibility.
Yeah.
And then he kept getting
Yeah.
hurt. He kept
Yeah,
getting
look,
hurt.
injuries take their toll, man. Once you start getting injured, it's very difficult to train at that level that you trained at before. And that, directly affects your performance, which directly affects your wins. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a slide. It's like a monopoly loss. You slowly chip away at that. And it gets dark and depressing. So
Remember when Anderson snapped his shin?
That was against him. That was against.
Yeah, I know. That second fight.
Oh.
Dude, that one, I'll never forget because I was on stage at the El Paso comic strip and I come off stage and they're like, did you see what happened during the Silva? Why? I'm like, no, what happened? Because he snapped his leg. I was like,
Was
bullshit.
this when you put your nose in that girl's tits when you motorboated the whole crowd? Didn't you bring the 8 girls on stage?
That was in Hawaii.
Oh.
he likes to he just
has to
he's
try and bring that in there
loves
too.
it.
anything that has to do with tits or motorboat or
I just
sex.
doing a show.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't mean I listen. Yes, I did an 8 girl titty face slap, but that was in
But
Hawaii.
the weird part is me bringing it up, not that.
Yes, because we're talking about Anderson Silva's broken leg. Because
Okay.
they showed me the fucking gif of it, and I thought it was animation. I thought somebody had made that,
was-
and that it was a
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
joke.
Yeah.
And then I went and actually watched the highlights. I'm like, oh my god, that fucking happened. That was fucking nasty.
Yeah.
man.
So please, Chris, win. Also, Yair Rodriguez taking on Jeremy Stevens.
I think that
They
would
were
be a good
supposed to
fight. I
fight.
think
There
that
was
was
a
a good
finger in the
fight.
eye. And ended the fight early, and they almost got to a fight again in the airport after that. Or something. It was like somewhere, maybe the lobby of the hotel.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, this is an angry Jeremy Stevens. Like, he hates this guy. It seems like he does really well when he hates the person.
But that can work against you too, can't it?
Not this guy. Jeremy Stevens is like an old Pat Miletich, tough, just a tough son of a bitch.
Yeah, I think the anger and hate focuses him more than he gets lost in the emotion.
Okay,
It's
okay.
like, oh, I'm gonna fucking
Fucking put your money on
Yeah.
Stevens then. That's what that sounds like.
Also, Greg Hardy.
This is like
know
one
that
of those
is?
guys that I always want to lose, and he always wins.
So Greg Hardy is a guy that got cut from the Cowboys.
Yeah.
He was like the
After he was cut from Carolina.
He was like the number 1 pick in the NFL or something, right?
Yeah.
And he was beating up his girlfriend.
Yeah.
But then they pressed charges, didn't press charges. It was one of those like things that like he paid her. I don't know exactly what happened, but it got really ugly, and he got cut from the NFL.
Yeah.
So they started training an American top team and started winning. But his opponents did not seem like they were a very high caliber, which at first, that's how you fight. But now he's like won 3 fights at the UFC, but it seems like they're not getting any better. Although the last guy was pretty good, but he just fell apart.
Yeah.
But he's got natural, ridiculous strength. One
Total
fight,
power.
One fight he
Huge
was.
power.
One
Total
fight he
retard
looked like the guy was coming
Retard
back,
strength.
and then he soccer
We're
kicked the
bringing it
guy.
back.
He soccer punted the guy's head when he was on the ground.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And he got disqualified.
Yeah, that's right.
And then people were making jokes like, well, he didn't think his last thing was illegal either. Yeah. So
That'd be interesting to see. Who's he gonna fight? It's just
he's fighting a guy named Ben salsa
he's
league.
basically fighting one of those guys. They don't even have a picture for the website.
No, the guy's 7-2.
Go ahead.
He's from England, but it seems like wrestling. They don't know about his ground game on Hardy.
Yeah.
So if they got a guy from England, I would assume maybe he doesn't have the best ground game, wrestling wise. So it seems like
likely it sounds like they're trying to bring this guy Hardy along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And try to build him up.
Well, because there's a built-in fan base there, whether you like it or not. There's fucking Cowboys fans that watch the UFC.
He went with the Cowboys.
Wait, did he play? Yeah.
You know,
he was
football-
really more of
football
a
fans.
Carolina
Yeah,
player.
but the fact that we're talking so long about him, it just proves that that sells tickets.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
yeah,
what they
because
want.
he's like a Colby Covington.
Controversy.
He's a heel. He's managed to make people hate him. You know.
Well, no,
And so,
but Colby almost like wants people. This guy, people just hate him for a lot of other reasons than Colby.
I think he enjoys it too, though.
You think so?
I think so.
I don't know. According to Dean Thomas, who trains him, he's the nicest guy. He works hard. He's humble. He wants to learn. And all his training partners say the same thing about him.
Well, and that's the thing with that athlete, that kind of athlete. Like, okay, a guy that makes it to the NFL, that means he's been playing football since he was 5 years old and has been getting coached since he was 5 years old.
Yeah, and
so
he's
it's
a
like
beast
those
athlete.
kind of guys are
Just
like,
a
all right,
natural.
coach me, tell me what the fuck to do, and I'll do it.
Right, especially since he's going to something
Like-
that he hasn't done since he was 5 years old.
Yeah.
And
We're
knows
just
to compete,
talking. We're
he's
just
gotta be
talking
coached.
pure. If you're just talking pure athletics,
Dude.
athleticism,
Freak.
Yeah.
to be able to
Freak.
get to NFL, you just need such a high level athleticism. You know what I mean? You
Right.
can't just steroid your way to the NFL.
No, absolutely not.
You
For him to have this
you
kind of
to be
size and be able to
really
move
strong.
the way that he moves,
That's what I mean.
that's his athletic. That's his X factor.
Yeah.
Because he can really move for a huge guy.
Yeah. Wait. What weight is he?
265.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Big guy.
All right.
I mean,
And
scary.
on top of that, like, it's very difficult for the UFC to like really find heavyweights.
Good.
Well, a lot of
Skilled
people,
heavyweights.
were going after Dana, saying, "What the fuck?" Like, the NFL cuts this guy, and then you guys pick him up. Like, what?
He's
what is
an
that
independent
saying?
contractor.
That's almost the only way to get these big guys. I mean,
And
these
what do
big
you know?
guys tend to go into
Look,
the NFL and
since
not
the dawn
fight.
of time, okay, the flesh business fighting, has been the low end version.
Yeah.
We're here talking about it like we're all professional, but really, like, come on, what rung of society are we? Really?
That's not- I wouldn't go
men
there.
fighting men
In a cage.
for money.
But
Let's just
there
stay
are a
with
lot of
it what it
guys-
is.
but there's-
So I mean, football is kind of that, right? But it's not really a fight because they're wearing equipment and they're not supposed to hurt each other. But we're actually trying to hurt each other.
But I would say there are more class acts in the UFC and in
Than
Bellator
football.
than there are not.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you got guys
I
like
agree.
GSP, Kenny Florian. I mean, Faber.
True,
you got all these college. I mean, a lot of really good people, men
I
and
agree.
women.
Yeah, I
so
agree.
I think that the crazy thug guy that like just happens to have power in his hands doesn't get that far usually because
You're right,
the
yeah.
discipline's not there.
You're right.
He gets to a certain point, he'll get to the king of the cage maybe, or he'll get to Burbank's fucking throwdown.
I think
Yeah.
the point he's trying to make is that like the sport in and of itself is pure savagery.
Yeah.
So like to judge someone because they're being a
And 'cause-
savage outside of work, like no, you don't.
We're
get,
all
like,
in our look. You gotta
He fucking beats
understand.
people up for a living. If he beats someone up on the street, like I'm not fucking surprised.
But beating up his girlfriend and beating him on the
That's
street,
wrong.
I mean,
She should have tried to coach him.
come on,
He
man.
would have shown her a little more respect.
That is a joke for anybody looking to get Greg fired from anything
What? I
in
said
the future.
coach him.
She should have. He beat her up because she couldn't try to coach him. That's that's a justification on this. That's a joke. It's a joke.
Yes,
Ha ha.
it's a joke. Clearly, it's a joke.
Okay, thank you.
Jesus.
We have to say
This
that.
guy's a comedian.
Of
You know
course.
that, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
All right, so
it isn't us. It's the audience
Is
we're
he?
worried
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
I take everything so seriously
exactly.
sometimes.
Joe Lausanne is fighting Jonathan Pierce. I don't know who Jonathan Pierce is, but this guy's 9-3.
Another no picture.
They're
That's
trying
exactly-
to. Well, they're trying to get
exactly
Lausanne a
right.
win in Boston.
Yeah, I mean he needs one too. Hasn't he lost like 2 or 3?
He's another guy. The whole face is scar tissue.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, dude, save yourself. Why
Yeah.
are you still fighting, man?
He's got
Why not?
I know he's got a kid who's sick. He's got and those bills sometimes are fucking brutal. I don't know if that's one of the reasons he's fighting.
I mean, I can understand, but it's just, I don't know. He's one of those guys I wish wouldn't fight him.
Macy Barber, who's 7-0, who she was saying I'm the next Ronda Rousey, and she was getting tagged her last fight. She's out of Rufus Sport.
Yep.
So she kind of is.
If she gets kicked sideways,
Head movement.
Yeah, she quit and then joined WWE. So she's fighting Jillian Robertson, who she's been killing it.
Extreme Couture.
No, she's out of Florida, ATT. She has like solid red hair, really hot.
I was gonna say she looks really sexy, man.
She is really sexy, and she wins fights that like they keep throwing her against the wolves, and she keeps coming out on top, which is kind of cool. And Darren Wynn, who's Cormier's like best friend. He looks like a mini Cormier.
Wow.
Like a smaller version of Cormier, but amazing wrestler. Same build.
Yep.
What weight?
He's fighting
85?
Middleweight.
Oh, okay.
He's 85, but he's like 5'9".
No, 205. Fighting 205.
Oh, he's 205.
He's fighting Darren the Dentist Stewart, who's from England, who's got no
It
wrestling.
says it's a middleweight fight.
They have him at 225 on here.
Yeah, well, he might be walking at that, but he's going to do the Cormier weight cut all the way down to 85. All right.
I mean, that's what it says.
Push that towel, baby.
They're fighting it.
And then my man Charles Rosa's on the card. Rosa actually had him fighting Manny Bermudez, great, who's undefeated. Rosa
a tough fight.
moved to Florida to become a chef and was getting so fat that he went to ATT to work out, and now he's got a
now
record
he's
of
in the
11-3.
Nice.
we're talking about a natural fighter.
I know, right?
What was he doing in the kitchen?
Ratatouille
Just ruining that
Cinderella
food.
story.
Medium fucking rare. So
beating the shit out of sous chefs.
Tenderizing the shit out of that meat. This meat's so tender. You're goddamn right it is.
and then Meatball Molly McCann, Meatball Molly, she fights out of England.
I love Meatball.
Wait, how did I miss this person? Meatball Molly, that's her name?
Yeah.
Yep.
She's fighting, and she's a nice woman, happens to be a lesbian, very attractive, came on the podcast.
There it is. There it is. She happens to be a lesbian, loves to eat puss. I hear she spends a lot of time on the clit.
Dude, what I like about her is one of her fights.
Why was that?
One of the fights, they were cursing each other out, and then after she won, she gave the girl a finger. Even afterwards, she's like, "Fuck it, we're not friends now."
Like
Most of the time,
oh, I thought you meant.
no, she didn't start finger banging her. She actually gave her the middle finger.
Gave her the finger.
Like she.
That's what I thought.
Now,
Like, well, that's what
I call it.
with you and your fights, it seems like after you guys fought, you guys would hug, no matter how much.
Yeah, just squash the beef, you're good, right?
But I feel like a lot of these women, like, they
Squash
don't
the beef. You're a
But
lesbian too.
women are just like, are you saying this sexist
It seems like a
remark
lot of
right
times
now?
women don't squash the beef. They're just like,
it's a lot of new. That's how they do. They squash the beef.
You know what? Yeah.
They're like-
Women hold a grudge.
they hold the grudge after the fight.
Even after the fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then my friend Boston Salmon is fighting. This guy actually, I was at the Palms watching a
His
kickboxing
name is
fight.
Boston Salmon?
Yeah,
He's
and you know what? And he looks like he's like
from Hawaii. From Hawaii.
Yeah.
All right.
He doesn't look like Boston at all.
He's a guy. I went to go valet my car. at
Maybe
the
his
Palms.
dad was.
And then the Palms lot was full. And then this guy comes to my car. He goes, "Hey man, you're MMA Roasted. Don't worry, I got your car. Your money's no good here." I go, "Thanks." He goes, "My name's Boston Salmon. One day you're gonna be roasting me." And now here he is in the UFC.
Awesome.
Boston boom boom.
Where did he train?
Salmon.
Extreme Couture. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome Boston.
He's got quite a chin. I don't know. We'll see.
Slamming salmon.
He lost his last fight pretty quick, but
Boston
Oh, yeah?
boom boom Salmon.
Boston boom
and then
boom.
Kyle Boshnak's fighting. He's the guy that fought Zabit. That
Really? Yeah,
just
okay.
kept, yeah. He's fighting Sean
like
Wood.
Bosniak.
These names are getting like more made up sounding. Are you just like reading off your joke set? Like, hey, what's his name?
Oh, wait till we get to Daniel Spitz.
And then,
Baby
and then Georgia Cupcakes is fighting.
Georgia Cupcakes. Huh? Meatball Molly's fighting Georgia Cupcakes. All right, I can get on this card.
I love it. I can get on this card.
Cincinnati Linguini
yeah.
is
You
fighting.
just show up. And
Yeah, next up on the main card, Johnny Bubble Trousers. I was like, what? Like,
And then also Daniel Spitz is fighting. He's a buddy of mine. He came to a show. He's fighting Tanner Bozer, so he should win. And then Court McGee is fighting a guy who's 10-0, Sean Brady. I feel like they're giving these people like who are kind of names. Maybe on the downside of their career, like Court McGee, guys that are
Yeah,
just
just
like
throwing them
undefeated
some- yeah.
guys, and that's I don't know if I like that.
what do you mean? That's what they always do.
I don't
Are you
like-
Is this a new development? How long have you watched the UFC?
But a lot of
Like,
times
it's exactly
they'll,
what they do.
no,
Pretty
a
much
lot
the
of times
formula.
they'll throw like Diego Sanchez versus Joe Lausanne. Like they'll throw two names against each other. That
Nah.
like, but
No, it's
You
always a
hardly
guy.
ever see
It's
that.
a guy on the way down that's become a stepping stone versus a guy on the way up to see if he's at least
That's
good enough
exactly
to
the
beat stepping
business
stone.
model.
I love when
And
the
we
guy.
see
I
it
love.
over
I
and
love
over
when the
again.
guy.
You're right, where we talk.
But I love it when a guy like Cub Swanson wins.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy.
Or Vince.
Hey, and they're counting on that. that, and the Vegas betting lines are counting on you hoping that Cub Swanson pulls it out.
Yeah.
Dude,
You know what I mean?
Crone took some body shots, man. Cub was hitting him, baby.
Yeah.
That was such a great fight. That's probably my favorite fight so far this year. That was
Really?
that was a great fight. Those
Yeah.
guys were just beating the shit out of
They
each
did
other.
beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
I was
So-
amazed at how much damage Crone Gracie could take. I really thought he would have gone down a lot sooner. But he was taking a beat.
he's a Gracie. You got those family Thanksgivings probably.
Yeah,
Just,
you're not allowed to give up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it was. He was like, "I'm not going down."
you ever see when
He hit me as many times
Henzo's
as he
arm
wanted to.
broke,
Yeah.
and he still didn't tap?
Yeah, I remember.
His
that.
arm was broken.
Oh.
You heard like pop.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Fuck it, I'm not tapping." Like he was, yeah. The other guy took his broken arm and tapped it. That's.
But I mean, those body shots, man. I was just like, God damn it! He keeps coming. He kept coming.
So what do you guys have coming up?
It's a beast.
We're there already.
Yeah, they want to wrap it up.
Let's see what's on the.
Mayhem, what do you have coming up?
Man, I'm just fucking watching you guys play with your phones during the whole podcast.
What do you have
Just
coming up?
Shocked and appalled at what you're doing.
What do you talk? First of all, I was looking up phone numbers.
So unprofessional.
What do you got coming up?
Fuck, if I not, why you just got out of jail, bro? Fucking.
He's
I'm
not
getting
even allowed to have a
getting
phone yet.
suntan. Maybe I'll get laid.
Do you wanna do
I don't even have anything set. I got a bunch of meetings set up, and everybody's really happy that I'm sane and sober and like a normal human being.
You want to do a spot at the Dime tonight? Want to do a spot at the Dime bar?
Fine.
Really?
I'll do it.
For real?
What time?
Sorry, 8 o'clock.
there.
All right, we'll put you on. It'll be
Dude,
you.
just tell a story.
It'll be you and Uncle Creepy tonight.
Even better.
Together.
Well,
Stand
and
up
the reason I
together.
forget the phone out is because I put stuff in the phone so I don't have to remember it.
You don't gotta explain.
And
Dude,
that's,
my phone the other day.
that's
By
why
the way,
I
my
look
phone
at
the other day. I was looking.
I don't remember shit, and I had to start doing that because I kept missing gigs.
I was looking through my
Well,
text
you
the
hang
other
out
day.
at SpeedWeed too long.
That's
I
right.
was looking through my text and I'm like, my wife. I'm like, oh, Mayhem, Uncle Creepy. I'm like, I think I need more normal friends. Like Mayhem and Uncle Creepy.
Too late.
All I need is Rampage and like whatever happened to Bob and Steve. And
Yeah.
Hey,
Jim.
Rampage is fighting Fedor.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay, that's
we didn't even
crazy.
talk about
Are you
that.
training him?
I haven't even talked to him. I felt so bad that I got the SWAT team to his house last time I was there. You know,
happens.
But you know, he
If I had a
knows.
nickel for everything.
Yeah,
His name is Mayhem.
exactly. Yeah,
I'd have a whole nickel.
So-
Why was it at his house? I thought that was your house.
No, I know. I was at an Airbnb down the street, and I went over there, and then the cops came looking for me, and I like dipped through like the neighborhood and like hid in a hot tub. It's a whole.
In Rampage's
story.
hot tub?
Yeah, and the neighbors. And
Was it water
The
at the time,
helicopter.
or was
Yeah,
it-
it was hot, and so the helicopter couldn't find me. The
Oh, 'cause
dogs
you were-
couldn't
you were
find
under the
me.
water.
'Cause I-
You were under
yeah,
the lid?
Thermal?
You were under the
Oh,
lid? Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
thermal
Genius,
imaging.
dude.
Yeah,
Did you have one of those like snorkels?
Yeah, like a ninja, like a.
He was using,
a
he
reed.
was using the stem
A
of
reed.
one of the flowers.
A flower. Yeah.
Wait, but why?
Ridiculous.
But why
Rambo
did why would
goes
Rampage?
through Vietnam.
Why was it? Wait,
I mean,
You were at his
I'm
house,
sure
or-
I ruined his night. That's for sure.
did he say anything to you? Like, get out of my house?
Yeah.
He said, get out of my
Yeah.
house. He said, there's a SWAT team, but weren't you like, hey?
No.
Were you like, why weren't you like?
Listen,
but you're
man,
BJ
you're just
Baracus.
butchering- I'll tell the
but He was
story
on the A
another
team
day.
though. The SWAT team, is the A team.
BJ Baracus
Was-
BA, dude.
Yeah.
BJ
BJ Baracus was gay cousin in San Francisco.
Yeah, that's the Bang Bros version.
I pity the fool. I pity the fool who doesn't let me see it.
I'm sitting on my face, man. So, all right. So, what shows do you have?
This Saturday, I'll be in Miami doing a private show. That'll be a lot of
Those
fun.
guys that keep flying you over
Yeah,
there.
they keep flying me out there to do these gigs.
But
man.
half the time you don't do gigs, you just do coke the whole time.
Listen, I get paid for it though, so it's awesome.
He is paid
You know how
to do
many
coke.
totally? You know how many times I haven't been paid to do coke? All the rest.
Let me know when they want you to bring an opener.
You don't do coke. Really?
Not on this podcast.
You're a Marine.
He's not against it.
You're a Marine.
But you know what-
You're a Marine. You don't do coke. How many Marines
fuck?
do you know,
I've actually
dude?
I got my comedy workshops going again. Next week we'll be doing the crowd work and riffing workshop.
Oh, nice.
So if you want to take that, that's on Monday night.
Ew.
And then next I'll be at Harvey's in Portland at the beginning of November. So November 8th, 9th, and 10th. 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. And then Morongo Casino on November 15th for Big Boys Big Funny Motherfuckers show.
Nice.
At Morongo Casino. I'll be
Nice.
there. And then Laughs Tucson, November 22nd and 23rd. So that's what I have coming up.
Tyler, what do you got coming up?
I start filming on Friday.
Yeah,
for the
buddy.
unnamed big project movie. I'll be out there for 3 weeks. Palm Springs
Hard Men
area.
Part 4.
I don't know. I still don't even know the actual name. I know the working title.
Nice.
yeah, that's the foreseeable future for me until November 10th, and then I'm back to coaching, back to podcasting.
Nice. I will be. Where am I going to be? I'm going to be at the Long Beach Laugh Factory this Wednesday night, and then the Hollywood Laugh Factory this Saturday night at midnight. October 21st, 27th at the Las Vegas Laugh Factory, headlining out there.
Yay!
Dirty at 12:30, November 1st, South Point Casino.
How much getting paid for that?
And then I will be at the Miami Improv, November 20th.
Yeah.
December 9th to the 15th at the Stratosphere at the Strat. Also, I'll be
there the week after you.
That's the week of Colby's fights. And then February 11th to the 17th, the Comedy Cave in Calgary. And then next April at the Boca Black. Okay. All right,
He's fucking way ahead.
Where are we going with this?
Anyway,
I think we're going to do a couple more podcasts before that happens.
Thank you, Colby Covington. Thank you, Mayhem. Thank you, SpeedWeed. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Greg.
Look up my workshops on thecomedyinstitute.com.
Take care, guys.